Hello, everyone. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Madam is Prime. Call me Prime, and welcome to the fifth installment episode, whatever, of Prime Time. Your host, obviously, Prime, and with me today I have a couple, Leah and Lee. They have a channel, a vlogging channel, Borders and Beyond. And I thought it'd be interesting to have them on, just talk about their experiences traveling and running a channel together. So yeah, let me just bring them in. How are you guys today?
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How's your weekend been?
Eventful.
Chilled but eventful, yeah.
Exactly what we needed. Relaxing. Got a couple of videos recorded. Hadn't really had time to do it over the last few weeks, but we did this week.
Yeah, we got a good few done because obviously we're in lockdown at the moment, so it's been hard to get out and about and see new places. So we got a bit done this weekend.
Oh, cool. You said so. You have videos done. Is this from a good while back before lockdown, or?
No, we got two recorded there. What, Thursday and Friday?
Mm-hmm.
So we got two new ones there. So that'll do. We'll have them up probably next week and the week after.
They're kind of just like local areas. They're not really like anywhere too fancy at the moment. We're kind of doing like places that tourists could come to if they came to visit here. Like that would be worth seeing for them. So that's what we're focusing on at the moment.
So you guys are a vlogging channel, and you're based primarily in Ireland. So why even create a vlogging channel in the first place? What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, Leah kind of went traveling an awful lot before we kind of got back talking again. She was in Australia and Canada and stuff, and she kind of done her own kind of little personal vlog. It's just kind of getting clips of what she was doing, and I was kind of saying to her, would you not think about actually doing this, like doing a proper edit, doing a proper vlog with it, rather than just keeping them for yourself, putting them on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, I was going around like I had a GoPro, and I was it was more so just for like my personal kind of just to have to look back on. I never really kind of put them out for people to see other than friends and family. And when Lee had seen them, he was saying, like this would be of interest to people seeing that, like, you've been in Australia, you've been in Bali, you've been in Africa, like show the world kind of places you've been. And yeah, I kind of just started from there. We said, let's maybe like work together and start doing them.
I was quite loud and used to streaming and stuff, so I was fine in front of the camera, like.
Yeah, I've seen you stream, and I've been on streams with you, and I know what you're like. You're like in terms of football and Man United and stuff. So how, for you personally, how was that? How different was that for you, having to now vlog, and you're not. This isn't you talking about football. You're just going around traveling to places. Was that a bit awkward for you at the start, or
No, because I was doing more so video game streams and all before as well, so I knew what it was like to be essentially talking to dead air. Yeah. In the sense of you gonna have to wait for a response off chat or whatever it is. So I knew I understood how to chat to the camera, and I think for me it was grand. It was more so just getting to go to the actual places that I hadn't been to, or getting to see new things that I hadn't seen before that I really wanted to.
Whereas for me, I was the one who was nervous talking to the camera. Like all my videos beforehand were like my point of view, like looking at the places. It was never me with my face in the camera talking to the camera, because I don't know, I just felt awkward doing that. So Lee kind of got me out of my shell a bit to say, like, no, like talk to the camera, let the people know where you are, what you're doing. I've come out of my shell a lot since. Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, so yeah, because it is quite awkward. Just essentially talk, even if there's people in the chat, it's still as if you're talking to yourself. So yeah, I do get that. It's quite awkward to do. How long have you guys been vlogging for? You said you used to you were traveling beforehand as well and just recording your experiences. So how long have you guys been vlogging?
I've been I lived in Australia for 2 years, and before that I was I done like a couple of months in Greece, and I was in Africa, and like it was just like I had a camcorder in Africa, and I'd had those videos, but it was just kind of just recording my experiences rather than actually vlogging them, and that was since 2010. But it was only probably we've been vlogging properly about a year and a half now, give or take a year and a half. We set up our channel September 2019, and we've kind of been doing proper vlogs since then. Now, like, we've only really got abroad twice, so the majority of our stuff have been in Ireland. We've done Turkey and we've done Belgium, but obviously with COVID this year, we've not actually got to go anywhere exciting really.
So what countries do you have in mind to travel eventually when this whole thing is over?
COVID. We kind of have planned. So the plan for us was to move to Vancouver, and with COVID now, that's looking less and less likely. In the sense of we applied for the visa. Well, the applications for the visa 4 months ago now.
Back in June or July, I think.
4 or 5 months ago, and still haven't heard back, and it's usually a 10-week process. So that doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. So we've decided we're going to do South America for a few months. We're thinking probably August to December or so.
Yeah, give or take. Hopefully, maybe get like, if things calm down and we can, like, air travel starts again, maybe do a few small weekends away here and there in Europe, maybe. But I think the next big thing is to do a couple of months maybe in South America.
And what's the attraction to, you said Vancouver, then South America, so what's the attraction to those two places in particular?
I think for Vancouver, it was more, I'd done my 2-year visa in Australia already. And like I think for a lot of Irish people, it's, you know, either Canada or Australia if you were moving abroad. So and Lee kind of, he's wanted to move abroad as well. So we had said, let's do Canada. And I had been to Vancouver before and I thought it was beautiful. And we said, let's do a year there or 2 years there and see how we get on. And that's, and kind of there's like the different seasons and stuff there. You can do so much, you know. You can ski in the winter, and like during the summer, you kind of have like proper seasons. It's like proper summer. You don't get that here, like, and then obviously you can ski and stuff in the winter, and the views and the different national parks over there are just meant to be out of this world. So I think that's what kind of was the attraction to Canada for us.
We also then were thinking kind of money wise as well. The company Leah works for, their kind of main offices are in Vancouver as well. So that could be an easy job for her to get. And I'm currently working kind of IT related. And again, Vancouver is literally the IT capital of North America. So it was an ideal place for us to kind of not settle down, but to stay for a year or two, because we'd have not fully have it, obviously, but we'd have more of a job security sense. So we'd be able to still make money while we're going traveling, while we're doing all of our bits. Like,
yeah.
So that was more sort of the attraction, because if Leah could go back to Australia, she'd be back in a heartbeat, but she can't do it because she's done her 2-year visa.
Yeah. And what about South America?
I'll let you take this one.
Well, I've been to, the only 2 continents I've not been to are South America and Antarctica. So we did kind of have either maybe, what was it, South America, Southeast Asia, or Africa in mind to travel around for 3 or 4 months. And Lee was kind of saying, well, you know, why don't we do South America and get that crossed off your list, and then the only continent you'll need to go to then is Antarctica. Oh yeah, we kind of said, like, you know, there's a lot you want to do in South America as well. And so we kind of said that, like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and just go see. Again, it's new places for both of us. Neither of us have been. There's a lot there that we both want to see. So yeah. One of
the main things I want to do when we go there is when we go to Brazil, I want to go into the favelas, play football with the locals. I'd say it'd be an incredible experience. Like,
that's the one thing I remember you saying you want to play with it. Yeah, I mean, that would be an experience playing in the favelas. But
he talks about it so much. He's like, anytime anybody mentions like what we're doing next year, and we say, oh, we're going to go to South America, he's, I'm going to Brazil, I'm going to play with the locals in the favelas, and then somebody mentioned to you there to bring over all jerseys.
Yeah, my auntie had mentioned.
And like, they'd love that as well. So Then like Peru, go to Machu Picchu, go to the Galapagos. There's so much over
Nazca
there.
Lions.
Yeah. So much to do. So
So, all right, Leah, with you, and I know you said you used to travel before you guys started the channel. So, what places have you been to? Because you said the only continent you haven't been to is what, South America and Antarctica. So, what the other continents? What countries? What cities have you been to?
So I've been to quite a lot of Europe, more so like Western Europe. I've not done too much of like Eastern Europe. I've done like, obviously you have your Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, France, Spain, Portugal, Andorra, Belgium, Denmark, Croatia, Malta, Italy, Greece, Turkey. I feel like I'm missing one or two there. And then I've been to Kenya. I've been to Bali in Southeast Asia, Australia. I was there for 2 years. And then North America, I've just been to Canada, so I've just been to Vancouver. So obviously there's still an awful lot of North America I still have to see as well. I think that's everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to a few places, but nowhere near as much as you.
Did you guys was traveling something that you guys did when you guys were younger, growing up?
For Leah, yeah. For me, not for kind of with family, but not really so much like by myself.
You travel a lot to like North America a lot with your family.
Yeah. Like, I've been to America quite a lot, like the United States quite a lot. But yeah, it was pretty much the same place every time. Like,
where in the States?
Florida. Yeah, it's been like 13, 14 times or something.
It's like more people I talk to, Florida seems to be the place to go. What is it about Florida that you like?
The theme parks, the nostalgia of like the childish aspect of it, with the likes of when you think about it, if the Disneyland, which I'm like, if you could see what I have over there of a ton of pop dolls are all Disney. I just love Disney. Like, I have a tattoo and everything from Disney.
Lee's whole family are just they're Disney fanatics. Like,
so Disney's a big attraction.
Two cousins have been proposed to in Disney. Your parents went to Florida for their honeymoon. It's whereas I've never been, and his family just think it's the strangest thing ever that I've never been to Disneyland, Florida.
You don't.
But anytime I mention it, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you've never been there!" Like, you know.
Oh yeah, fair enough. I don't anyway.
You think Lee would have taken you there?
But that's the plan, maybe.
You think I made the money?
I mean, why not?
We did say that if we had a plan to go, like we're going to Vancouver next year, that sorry, the noise of the chair. It wouldn't cost as much to go from Vancouver to Florida as it would say from here. So we'll see. Maybe sometime next year, the year after, we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
So that is because I've never been there as well, and it's a place that I would like to go because I didn't grow up traveling either. So it's great when I get to watch like vlogging channels and going to places and stuff like that, and just seeing these experiences.
It gives you ideas as well of where,
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, I would say the camera doesn't do any justice to some of the places we've been to.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, so that leads into my next question then. What are the most beautiful places you've been to in terms of, like, I guess, visually, the attraction or just the atmosphere? Or
for me, probably Ephesus in Turkey. Ephesus is just like an ancient city, and the ruins of it are still extremely well intact, like they're well kept. But when you're going up to it in the bus, it doesn't look like much. It looks quite small, but then it just opens up and it is huge. Then, like, it's incredible. Yeah, Ephesus probably be top of my list. Oh, he's falling. What about you?
Oh, you know, I have a few. Like in Australia, I've always said, like, there's a place called Fraser Island, and it's the largest sand island in the world. And I went camping there for a weekend, and we had to like drive along on 4x4s, like along the beach and camp, and there was wild dingoes, and I've always just said that's my favorite place in Australia. You know, I'd go back there in a heartbeat. But other than that, God, maybe Bali. There's a place in Bali called oh my God, what's the island called? I can't even remember the name of the island. But we went swimming with turtles there, like snorkeling, and the turtles were like snorkeling alongside us. And then Kenya, just like the African plains in Kenya, they're just out of this world. You know, you're driving along and just like stopping baboons are like jumping all over your car, and it's such an amazing experience for, you know, when you Gilly tea, that's the one. Thank you. Gilly tea. Yeah, I love Gilly tea. It was amazing. But yeah, the African plains were just, yeah, mind blowing. Absolutely beautiful.
Any negative experiences in terms of like maybe a place that you went to didn't live up to the expectation, or maybe it was just the people or whatever it may be?
Probably Pamukkale.
Yeah.
Pamukkale, it's in Turkey. The pictures you see, it looks like something from a different planet. Like, and so my expectations were like, where's the camera? Way up here, like. And when we got there, it was like here. It was still really good, but underwhelmed.
Yeah, I think the problem is, like, I have seen a lot of other big vloggers, like Flying the Nest, probably one of my favorite travel vloggers. They done it as well, but they went at like sunrise, like 6 a.m. in the morning, no tourists there, and that's what it looks like in the photos. That's the place you expect to see, but then when you get there at 1-2 o'clock in the day and it's just full of tourists and it's packed, you don't actually get to see the beauty of it. So that's the problem with a lot of tourist attractions, I think, is that you see all these beautiful photos and then you get there and it's nothing that you expect because the photos are taken when there's nobody there. But other negative, I don't like.
I would have probably have another one, the Dark Hedges.
I know, I loved the Dark Hedges.
I don't know whether you watch Game of Thrones or not, but there's one of the scenes, one of the most famous kind of cinematic shots that was taken in Game of Thrones was up in Down. Was it Down or Antrim? Antrim, yeah, it was Antrim. It's called the Dark Hedges. But every photo you see, it looks so dark, so gloomy, and every photo has been edited to the max to make it look as kind of creepy as possible. Yeah. And when you get there, it's not like that.
Like from what we see, and like the photos I took, I did take really good photos, but once I edited them, then that's what it looks like in the photos. That's what you expect to see. But it's still beautiful.
No, it is still good, but again, I was underwhelmed by it. Like I was expecting one thing and I got another.
Yeah, other than that, I don't think I've ever really been like underwhelmed with anything. Like people kind of, when we were going to Turkey, people were kind of saying, you know, watch out for the Turkish men, they're creepy, they're this or that. And we did get a few.
There was a handful
weirdos, but you get that anywhere you go, I think. But some of them were so welcoming and bringing us into their pubs and sitting us down and having a chat. And, you know, some of them were lovely. Like I think it's the same in any country you go. You will get, you know, the hagglers and the weird people who try like drag you into their shops, but it wasn't like people. I think there's such a negative like perception of Turkish men that we didn't really see when we were over there at all. Anyway.
No, I found most of them to be so genuine, so kind of they'd go out of their way to help you, like.
Mm-hmm.
And like I actually found that of all the places we've been, the Turks were probably the most welcoming, like.
Except
one of the most welcoming.
Except the man that tried to get you to buy me an engagement ring.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
Got dragged into a jewelry shop and your man basically closed the doors and
sat us down
and kind of
rings that were like a couple of grand and all. And he was like, "You buy for her and you propose." And he was like, "I don't have that much money." And he was like, "Oh, you can transfer. You give me a deposit. You can transfer the rest when you get home to Ireland." And
I was like, "Mate, get out of the way. I'm leaving." Like.
But no, I don't think I've ever really had that many negative kind of. I think I've been lucky in a sense that I've never had really any negative kind of experiences traveling.
Yeah, very few
so far, anyway.
Yeah, very few anyway, if any.
And like when you guys, sorry,
no, go on.
No, fine, sorry. No, so I was just sorry. I know.
We're brutal, aren't we? I was gonna say the only kind of negatives that we had were still really good. It's just they weren't exactly what we were expecting. Like, so it's not technically a negative, but I was kind of just trying to reach to get one. Like,
Yeah, like I think I would like for us to be one of those channels that show the negatives as well, because I hate when like you watch vlogging channels who go to every place they go to, everything is amazing and everything is, oh, you need to go here, but like they don't show you the negatives of, oh, this food I tasted in Malaysia was disgusting, or you know, these people in wherever, Belarus, they were so rude. Like they, like you kind of, I want to see both sides of it all. Like I hate when people go to places and they make it out in their vlogs that everywhere they go is the most amazing place. Like I kind of want to know the positives and the negatives to get kind of perception of, you know, right, when I'm going, this is what I need to look out for. This is where I should go and I shouldn't go, and you know, stuff like that. And I know everybody has their own opinions on places, but it is nice to see
firsthand, essentially.
Yeah, it is nice to see kind of both sides of travel, whereas a lot of travel vlogs just show you the positives in it. They don't show you the background story of all the bad things that happen in between. If that makes sense.
And it's, you know, it does make sense, and it's good to have that sort of balance in terms of perspective of everything. Do you guys prefer traveling alone or traveling like with people in terms of like friends, family?
When you say alone, do you mean just the two of us, or traveling by ourselves? Like by myself,
either or, to be fair, because again, Leah, she was traveling before you guys started the channel and stuff, and you guys started traveling together. So, what is it? What is it like going to new places and new countries? And is it much different, or do you prefer it being just the two of you guys together, or if you're going with friends, or if you're going with family?
I'd probably prefer, like, well, it depends on where we're going, really, but for the most part, I'd probably prefer if it was just me and Leah, because a lot of people like that we'd go with, whatever, wouldn't want to do all the stuff that we do. So, like, for example, if you're going somewhere that's going to be hot, most people would just want to sit by a pool or sit at the beach and not do that, whereas I would be absolutely bored out of my mind down that. I'd need to go adventuring somewhere, find something new, do something weird, like. But,
spend the day traveling and seeing, and like a lot of people go to countries, and like I know on family holidays when, you know, when we were kids, and I'd go to Spain and we'd go to the pool and then we'd go for dinner, and then the next day we go to the beach and then we go for dinner. The next day we go to the water park and we go for dinner, and that's you're not seeing the surrounding areas. Like, yeah, it's repetitive. Like sometimes those holidays are nice. It's nice to have a break, but I think, yeah, and it's nice to, like, obviously there's a lot of stuff that we want to do, and you don't want to have other people having to say, right, well, what do you think about doing this today? We can just go and do it without having to get opinions of other people, or having to make sure they're okay with doing it. And yeah, I think I'd rather just the two of us. Obviously, again, depending on where we're going, there are a few places that you probably would need a few more people with you to kind of enjoy it that little bit more.
Maybe the likes of Machu Picchu would be great to do with a few people.
Yeah, or even the likes of like Disneyland or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Disneyland and stuff like that.
Disneyland again.
But I feel like that's just a place that you could have more fun with a group of people. Kind of, you know, if I didn't want to get on a ride and Lee did, at least somebody else is there to go, oh, I'll get on that with you, you know.
Or so Leah's not waiting by herself. Yeah. Someone else might be like, oh, I'll wait with you, whatever it is. Like.
But, yeah. Exactly. So what? You've talked about the different countries you've been to. What have you guys done in those countries or experienced in terms of, like, I don't know, amusement parks or different restaurants or foods, or, you know, just culture in general?
I think Belgium's probably the best one to speak about with that.
Yeah,
we've done quite a bit in Belgium.
We've done a lot in Belgium, yeah.
So Lee actually surprised me for my birthday last year with a holiday. He told my birthday's in September. He told me in like July. He said, you need to book these dates off in October. And I was like, okay, why? He said, oh, I'm bringing you away for your birthday. I said, okay, cool. Came to September to my birthday, and I said, okay, so where am I going? And he was like, oh, I'm not telling you until October. You're not finding out until we're going. We went to the airport. Still didn't tell me where we were going. Got to the airport, like he brought me around to like loads of different gates. I was like, "Is this where we're going?" And he was like, "No." And the next gate, I was like, "Is this where we're going?" And he was like, "No." Oh, anyway, eventually we were going to Brussels, and but we'd done a lot there. Like we experienced the local food. We went to an amusement park. We went to like got a train trip to Bruges.
To Ghent as well.
To Ghent, got lost. I think that's a common occurrence
funny.
on our channel that we tend to get lost quite a bit. But yeah, like the food over there was fab. I think,
yeah, the food was lovely. Yeah, the Fritos were so good with the curry ketchup.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
More like chips
waffles
with curry ketchup and
the Fritos.
Yeah.
They're basically they're just chips with, but it's like curry ketchup. But we've tried to recreate it, putting like curry and ketchup together. It's just,
or even tried with the curry powder mixed with ketchup.
It's not the same. But and then you had waffles. Like we had like Belgian waffles for breakfast every morning.
Every day with waffles.
Like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we're here with like waffles, like covered in Nutella and strawberries, and
it's so good.
Yeah, what else? And the Belgian beers, they were lovely.
Oh, the Belgian beers were so good.
Because obviously they have like, there's a place in Brussels that has like 120 different beers on tap. Something crazy, because it's all about like craft beer and stuff over there. And then we went to, what was the name of the amusement park?
Walibi. Yeah, Walibi.
That didn't really live up to expectation.
That's not that. I forgot all about that. That's how much of a letdown that was.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, let's talk about that. What is Walibi like? Because I have never heard of it before.
Yeah, like I was kind of doing a bit of research. Obviously, Leah didn't know where we were going, so she couldn't do any research on it. But I had done a bit to see what we could do on different days and whatever. I'd seen that they had a theme park there. I was like, grand theme park, that'd be good. We'll do that. It looked unreal. The rides looked class in it, everything like that. When we got there, like it was like the park itself was good. Like it was so badly run. Like they'd have a roller coaster and they'd be sending it up half full. Like there'd be empty seats left, right, and center on it. They'd have 2 cars, but they'd be sending each one up half full. And like you queue for like an hour, over an hour, because they were sending them up half full, rather than just, like, for example, say they needed 3 people and the next group had 4. Instead of going, Grant, I need 3 people, they just be like, all right, Grant, there, you skip that.
Like I think it was like the theme park itself was great. Like we went at Halloween time and it was real like Halloween themed and like Halloween music, and there was people going around dressed up in like scary costumes, and there was smoke everywhere, and that was pretty cool. But again, it was just the waiting around, and we did go at a bad time because it was the Halloween break in school, and I think it was a bank holiday Monday we went on as well, so it was just full of kids who, because we were told that a lot of people would get year passes and go every weekend, or so it was pretty full the day we went. And yeah, it was just, remember that ride that we went on, we were on it for all of 20 seconds and we waited like 2 hours to get on it. And we were freezing cold. And then there was one you really wanted to get on at the end.
Yeah,
because we waited so long for the last one, like, when you can't feel your toes that you're that cold. Well, I was just like, I need to go home. I'm so cold. It's just, and that was like the best roller coaster as well. But the wait time for that again was like
about 2 hours,
another hour or 2, and we were like, we're not doing it again.
We did mess up big time on one of them. We went in, bought little ponchos and everything before we'd gone to the park, because they're like, grand, there's a couple of water rides and this, we'll bring ponchos so we don't get soaked, whatever. Grand. Queued up for one of them, realized we forgot the poncho, we left it in the bag and got absolutely drowned. And then because it was cold, we were even colder again because you were soaking wet.
Because obviously it was like the end of October, so it was a cold time of year as well.
So we messed up big time with that.
I think like, I don't think the theme park itself was the worst. I just think it was the experience that we had there, because of it was busy. It was the time of year. We weren't prepared. Like, and again, they could change it up a little bit just to make it that little bit kind of flow better and different rides and stuff like that. But yeah.
Weird. How are they're that badly organized and everything? How are they, still in business?
Yeah, I suppose and another thing actually, it was like, because it was in the middle of nowhere in Belgium, they were like completely fluent French speaking, and we were talking to them in English and they were just like, no English. And luckily I know like a little bit of French, so I was able to kind of communicate a bit with them. But So it's more like, I think it's more so like one of those like local, like, it's like Funderland, but it's like full-time Funderland. That's there all the time, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's basically what it was like.
That all the locals kind of go to all the time. That like they just get the yearly passes for the kids, but I don't think it's like won't be as popular as your Portventura or your Disneyland or. I think there's one in Holland. So there's two of them. I think the one in Holland, by the sounds of it, is like
more commercial.
Yeah, and kind of more better run and more known. And this is kind of just the second one, and we'll build this one and hope for the best, kind of.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, you speak a bit of French. You said.
Not the tiniest bit, yeah.
Well, do you guys speak any other languages? Like, and mean that in terms of like, because you travel to all these places, has the language barrier ever been a huge problem?
I think the biggest language that we've been to together, the biggest one was Belgium, because certain places you'd go, they like, so in Bruges, for example, they speak Flemish, they don't speak French. And and in Bruges, they one of the waiters that we had we were having food was basically saying that the only time they will speak English is if it's for a tourist, and if they are really struggling to try and communicate, that's when they'll speak English to them. But he was like, we won't speak English to anybody. We only speak Flemish. If you speak French, we'll ignore you and all. I was like, yeah, okay, wow. So it was a little bit of a barrier there, but he was really nice. Though he was very helpful. He was trying to teach us a little bit of Flemish and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think and then when we were in Walibi, the only kind of issue we had was ordering food.
Yeah.
And luckily, I kind of had the basics there that I was able to order. I think we just got like hot dogs and chips or something. Hot chocolate. So kind of, because like when I studied French in school, so I kind of, I know the basics that like I can get through a pretty easy conversation. Yeah, I won't be able to sit and have a fluent conversation with you, but that's the only, like every other country you go to, like the majority of them do speak in English. Like I know there will be, like at times if we do go to South America, those type of countries are, it's gonna be a lot harder. Sometimes you almost need a translator going around with you, especially if you're in the smaller little towns and not the touristy areas, which is where we'd want to go. We'd want to go into the heart of where the locals live and see firsthand where they live, and that's where you're going to struggle to communicate, I think. But anywhere we've really gone so far has been
good.
It's being touristy, it's being commercialized, it's been
true.
So we haven't really had that issue. I did see it a little bit when I was in Bali, but again, not much. Like they kind of, I think they're so used to tourists that they're basically just like point out what you want and I'll give it to you. But other than that, I've not really myself had an issue with language barriers traveling so far anyway.
Like I've traveled a bit with football as well. So like I think when I went to Madrid with my football team, and there was a little bit of because it wasn't in the city centre of Madrid we were staying in. Like one of the lads that was on the team, he was Spanish. His dad was rich and owned a mansion thing in Madrid, but it wasn't in the city centre. It was in the outskirts. So whenever we were going out to the shop to get something or anything like that, it was like they didn't speak English. It was, you need to know Spanish. So that was maybe a little bit of an issue, but I was studying Spanish in school at that stage. So again, similar to Leah, I could get through a small little conversation, but that would have been about it. But yeah, like you pick up a few bits as you go, depending on where you go to as well. Like I've friends from different countries all over the world, like, and like even one of my live streams, even for example, I was only saying to Leah a few weeks ago, someone came in and they were saying that they were from Iran and you were trying to teach me Farsi and all. Like I was like, I would happily try and learn Farsi. Like it's the more languages you know, the kind of easier it'll be for you to travel.
Yeah, that's actually very, very true. Do you what place like you want to go to Vancouver in Canada and travel around South America? Is there any other places in particular, and don't say Florida, any other places in particular that you guys like must see that you want to go to 100%?
Yeah, well, we actually done over lockdown. We actually done a video on our channel on like our bucket list of places we go. Like my number one would be to see the Northern Lights. You know, if I was told you only have, you know,
X amount of time to live.
X amount of time to live, I would say, show me the Northern Lights. I'd wear it if it's in Alaska or Norway or Finland. As long as I was to see the Northern Lights, I'd be happy out. That's my number one place I want to see.
For me, my number one would probably be Madagascar. And I'd love to see it before it's completely destroyed.
Madagascar.
Yeah, Madagascar is quite beautiful.
Have you been to Madagascar?
No, but from what I've...
That's the way you said it. I was like, well, you've been? What? No.
No. Again, I haven't traveled much, but like pictures and everything I've seen obviously doesn't do it justice, but like it is, from what I know, it's quite a beautiful.
It looks incredible.
And I think another one for both of us is Pakistan.
Pakistan, yeah.
Yeah.
Pakistan as well. Why Pakistan?
The mountain ranges.
Yeah. Like I know a guy, Will, he was the VP for events when I was in college in DIT, and he does all these like different travel like expeditions and stuff, and he brought a group of people to Pakistan, and he brings them out to like the middle of nowhere into the mountain ranges rather than seeing like your
Karachi or anything like that.
Seeing like the cities, like he brings them and he like gets them to live with locals in the mountains, and like that's what I want to see. Like I want to see how the Pakistanis live and not what the tourists see. And it's just, I think it's just from seeing his videos and his photos, it's just been somewhere that I've said, wow, no, that's what I want to see. I want to go to Pakistan and see that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite cool. You guys make it kind of like a priority to also experience the country or the city from the eyes of
culture.
The locals. Yeah,
yes.
Culture,
yeah. Because I just don't think you see when you go to these touristy places, they're made for tourists. You're not actually seeing how the people there live. You know, you could say, oh, I've been, you know, like for example, like you come to Ireland and you see in Dublin, but you've not seen how the people down in the heart of Kerry and the Gaeltacht live. You know that type of thing. Like just because. You know, I mean, it's just like you're not seeing the full picture. You're seeing how people in Dublin live, but you're not seeing how everybody in Ireland lives. And, you know, it's the same for, you know, I don't know, say Spain. You're seeing how people in Madrid live, but you're not seeing how people in
Osasuna,
not like in the little tiny little villages live and how they get by day by day and stuff like that. Or even like when I was living in Australia. If you go to Australia, you go to Sydney, you go to the big cities, but then, you know, I done my farm work it was an 8-hour drive from Sydney in the middle of nowhere, where like to go to the local supermarket was an hour drive, and like seeing how they live, and it's completely different to how the people in the cities live. So it's good to kind of get a bigger picture of what you expect when you go. Like you type in on YouTube, I traveled to Pakistan, you will probably see Islamabad and Karachi but you're not going to see how, like, go into a local's house and see how the locals cook their meals over like a hot fire and, you know, just
clay oven kind of thing. And stuff like I
think it's better to see how I don't think you're seeing the real country when you see the big cities.
That's also leading into kind of the South America thing as well. That's also part of the reason why I want to go into the favelas as well. Play with the locals, see how they live, see the actual favelas themselves. Like,
has he mentioned he wants to go to the favelas?
Well, yeah, no. So like even they just change your title. Lee wants to go to the favelas.
Trust me, that is going to be the title.
Well, yeah, no, even go to the likes of Colombia and stuff as well. I want to actually see the little villages rather than the big cities. Like.
Yeah.
And like, are you gonna try and like, if you're gonna go to the favelas, that's like very deep Brazil, are you gonna try and like learn the language and
Portuguese? Yeah. I'm gonna try learn at least a little bit so we can have small conversations.
Yeah,
anyway.
like there are good apps out there that you can you can learn. I know there's Duolingo. It's not great like that.
It's
like,
free though.
It's free, but like Duolingo will tell you, oh, can I please have I don't know, buy me a TV? Like, it's nothing that's going to help you in the day-to-day life. But there's another one that Kinging It actually plug every so often. They actually teach you. You have to pay for it, but they teach you like proper day-to-day conversations in any language you can think of. Just if we even learned just to be able to like go to the shop and say, this is what I'm looking for, or like go to the favelas and say like, can we play some football with you? Just to have those little bits of, just to get us by, to be able to say, look, I can't speak much. Be able to say in Portuguese, I don't speak much Portuguese, but this is what I can say. Help me out here. That type of thing.
Yeah, I get that. Wrapping up for the final like 20 minutes or so. Let's speak a bit more about your channel. What are like starting off just for traveling and for fun, and now is it how serious do you guys take it in terms of, do you think it could be a sustainable like thing, like a full-time job essentially?
Maybe eventually, but I think for the moment we're just kind of enjoying what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
If it leads somewhere, it leads somewhere. But like at the moment, for me more so anyway, I'm not thinking in the sense of, all right, this is my career, this is what it's going to be. If it leads to that, great. But I just want to enjoy actually traveling, seeing new things, like essentially filming what I'm seeing. That's just me. Don't know if you were different or not.
Like, yeah, I am. Like at the moment, of course, like we don't like with YouTube, you need your 1,000 subscribers and your 4,000 watch hours to even start getting ads, and even at that, that's still not
pennies.
That's still not sustainable. You need to be one of those big channels with like 500,000, 1 million subscribers to actually like have it sustainable. And then once you're big enough, you get all these sponsorship deals and all that. But for us, like I do love like video editing and like digital marketing and stuff. So if I was to get into even that and then do the channel on the side, that's like, for me, that's what I'd love to do, because I love doing the whole editing aspect of the videos and like doing the whole like Instagram, like putting like doing the marketing on Instagram and stuff for us. But yeah, again, like I think if it was to become a full-time thing, it will take quite a long time, I think, unless we have a video that might just happen to go viral, and that's it for us. We get paid to travel the world, but that's a dream.
That'd be a dream, yeah.
Yeah, if I could be paid,
you never know.
Sorry.
Viral moments just seem to happen out of nowhere, so you never know that could actually happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it might just be that video of you playing football in the favelas that makes us go viral, But yeah, I suppose at the moment it's just fun. Like we and I think the main thing that we've both taken out of it, well, definitely for me anyway, is that since we've started doing the channel, I've seen an awful lot more of Ireland than I think I've seen in the 27 years of my life. I've seen more of Ireland in the last year, and we just, our last trip was to Kerry, and that's possibly the most beautiful place in Ireland I've ever seen. And maybe I would have went there one day. Like, I have been to Kerry as a kid, but you don't appreciate these things when you're a kid. But it's making us go, okay, right, we have a day off, let's go see somewhere new. Like, I don't think if we weren't doing it for the vlog, we
probably wouldn't go and do it. Wouldn't be motivated enough to go and do it.
No, we wouldn't visit many places, I don't think, if we weren't doing it for the vlog. So I think that's the main thing that we're getting out of it at the moment, is that it's making us see more places than we would ever have normally.
Like when we were in Kerry as well, going along the Ring of Kerry, we're kind of stopping in different places to have a look at different views of like the Skelligs, for example.
Yeah.
Stopping in the little ring forts. What were they called again?
The little beehive huts.
Beehive huts, yeah. And like, whereas if we weren't doing it for the vlog, we probably would have just kept driving and drove by them.
Yeah.
But we stopped to see them because we were like, okay, let's have a look at this. This will be interesting. Like, and
it'd make good for the video as well. Like,
we ended up finding caves and everything. Like,
yeah, Lee got into a cave. I was afraid he was gonna get stuck. But yeah, it's kind of it's making us see an awful lot more, and it's making us want to go see an awful lot more. So I think that's more so than trying to make it a full-time thing. I think that's what's pushing us to keep going at the moment.
The experiences.
Yeah. We'll see. Like this time last year, we were only saying this week. This time last year, we were on 73 subscribers, and now we're almost hitting 700. So, just show that, like, I suppose the hard work does pay off, and at the same time, we're enjoying ourselves doing it as well.
And that's during lockdown when we couldn't travel as well. So, like, I think if it had been the case where we actually were able to travel, we probably would be seeing pretty nearly double them numbers, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. Like we were meant to go to, where were we meant to go? Slovakia there last month,
yeah, we couldn't go because of level 5 and all.
We were meant to be in Italy there a few weeks ago for a wedding. That got cancelled. So there's like, I think people, a lot of people, especially the Americans, they want to see Ireland. They love the Irish videos. But then not a lot, but like our friends and family who follow us, they don't want to see Ireland. They want to see all these other mad countries. So I think that's what would make it kind of.
That's most of our demographic is kind of people in Ireland. Tends to be what most of our viewers are, or else the
Ireland
UK.
Or the UK, a little bit of like America, Canada, Australia, but not much. But
yeah, and I guess final question: the channel, and I guess your lives in general. What do you have in store for the future?
Pretty for the moment more of Ireland, until we can actually start travel, like actually to go away again, start to see new things, but mainly more Ireland videos.
This month we kind of, well, like come December, like it's definitely going to be a lot of Christmas in Ireland, a little bit different to last year. There's not obviously many Christmas markets or anything like there was last year, but we're going to try our best to kind of show what Christmas in Ireland is like during the pandemic, because I think the videos that we're doing with blah 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 during the pandemic seem to be doing all right. So people want to see like how have things changed, and then I suppose in the new year just try get weekends away in Ireland, maybe,
or even if we can't travel, get somewhere else.
Even if it's to the UK, or just travel and then save. Like we're the two of us are like saving like quite a lot, and then come August just get a one-way ticket out of here and see where it brings us, I suppose.
Bring us to the favelas.
Bring us to the favelas.
Or Florida.
Yeah, exactly. But I suppose just see where it goes. Like our original plan, as we said earlier, was, we were meant to be going to Canada in January, but that's obviously out the window. So just, I suppose, take it as it comes over the next few months, see what we can and travel where we can and do the big travel kind of at the end of next year then.
Perfect. That's a perfect answer, actually. Yeah. I'll actually wrap it up now. Thank you guys, both of you, Leah and Leah.
Thanks for having us on, Prime.
Yeah, no problem, because I was talking to Lee last time we were on penalty spot and stuff, and checked out your channel, and I enjoyed it. So I was just like, why not? Let me at least ask.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No problem.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's a pleasure being on. Thanks for having us.
Exactly. And I think you're doing a great thing, getting different people onto your channel and talking about different
aspects of life.
Yeah, exactly. People doing different things, football and travel and
DJing with Matt, as I was saying.
Yeah.
DJing with Matt.
I didn't know he was a DJ. Didn't know he was a DJ.
Nor did I really, but that was a really fun interview to do with him. So I
think it's great that you're like obviously with the lads is talking about football, but you're also getting a different aspect of their lives as well. That's not just all about football. It's like, what do you do outside of loving football? And I think it's great.
Also on the penalty spot though, he was in our first ever video.
What, Matt?
No, penalty spot. David. He was in our first ever video.
That's quite far back then. I haven't.
That's like
you're pretty up the top down. Our first ever video he was in.
Yeah, he came up. Where did we go? We went up to Loch Tay, the Guinness Lake, and he came up with us. And
about 6 hours late.
Yeah, he was very late. That was
He was supposed to meet us at like 11 o'clock, and he shows up at like 2 or something.
Yeah.
we're like, all right, kill, nice one. Like,
But yeah, I suppose everyone shows that everyone has different aspects to
their
you know,
lives.
people from different communities, but they're all part of so many other different communities as well. And yeah.
True. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll just wrap it up there and leave you guys to it. Again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us.
People that are watching either in the live or once the video goes up, check out their channel. Links for everything. It's in the description down below. Please subscribe to them and just watch because they make good content, and it's great to see these people traveling around, especially after this whole COVID is finished, or
hopefully, if it ever does.
if it ever does. Yeah. I still don't know how to actually end these, but yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I didn't get it. It's all right as is.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Prime.
No problem. All right. Bye.
Have a great day.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers.